We are joined in studio today by Fridah Kanini. This powerful young woman has the energy and initiative to fill an entire room. She's here today to talk about her immigrant journey, her many community involvements, and a special project she's bringing to Grand Rapids, Michigan. Fridah, it's such a delight to have you. Welcome to Feel Like You Belong.
Thank you so much for having me, Alan.
You bet. So tell us a little bit about your personal immigrant story.
My first time I came to America was 2001. I came to Disney. I was an intern and I worked there for 1.5 years.
Disney in Florida or California?
In Florida.
Okay.
Disney World. And I was right out of school. I came the first time to Orlando. It was beautiful and exciting, and so much was going on at Disney. So
what did you do at Disney?
I worked in the restaurant.
So you weren't wearing a costume?
No, I didn't wear a costume. My roommate used to wear a costume.
Wow, okay.
Yes, she was the Minnie, and she was from New Jersey.
Okay.
Yes, so
Good.
I used to work in one of the restaurants. I worked in several different restaurants, and we were many of us coming from different parts of Africa, different parts of the world. They do have an exchange program for students. So I was there, I was working in restaurants that were African themed.
What was your first impression of the United States when you came? I mean, what was that like for you?
It was a beautiful place. I liked it. Orlando was warm, so it looked like my country. It wasn't cold like Michigan. I loved it because also we were so many of us from different parts of the world. I loved different people from different places. The experience was amazing. I got to meet and become friends with people from South Africa, Jamaica. So it was very exciting. And of course, meeting people in America that were showing me different. I wasn't used to like rides. That was not kind of the fun I was used to. So
Sure.
I was being told to go to these rides. It was crazy, but it was nice. It was a very welcoming program. They coordinate everything for you.
And how long did it last?
I was there for a little bit over a year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was really nice, exciting program. I got to visit Disney parks for free, bringing friends. I had so many friends that wanted to call me and ask if I can bring. You used to get 4 tickets free.
4 passes.
4 passes, yes.
Okay.
And so I had a lot.
So when you went back, did this plant some kind of a seed in your mind when you went back to Kenya?
I actually didn't go back to Kenya. I went to UK.
Okay.
So right after Disney, I went to the United Kingdom. I was working at an island called Jersey Island. It's a Channel Island.
Okay.
So my friends told me about it. When my program was over, I applied to work there. And I met so many people also from Kenya that were working in the program. It was also related to the college I went to because I was in a hospitality school in Kenya.
Sure, got it.
Yeah. So it was nice. It was very different from the island. Everything was so small compared to Orlando. And the island, most people walked. And I was like, wait, we used to take cars everywhere in Orlando. Yeah, but it was, and then eventually after 2 years, like the second year, I ended up going back to Kenya.
Okay.
Yes, so it was actually a lot of experience. So much, some fun, sometimes I was worried I won't see my family again. But then luckily I was able to go after 2 years. Everything had changed so much, I felt like I was gone forever. The little kids I knew, they were older, but everything still was fun.
So how did you end up back in the States?
After 2.5 years in UK, first I worked at Jersey Island, and then I moved to the mainland, the UK itself. I was working in a place called Towcester. It's very close to Buckingham, but not Buckingham Palace, just another small town in England. I was working there for about 1 year, and then I applied to go back to a hospitality program, and I came through the American Hospitality Academy.
Okay.
It's in Orlando.
Okay.
Yes, so that's how I got back to the United States.
So how did you make it from warm Orlando to chilly Michigan?
Yes, that's what I still wonder. I was very, I was working through, the program, I was doing everything, and then I knew people here in Michigan,
Okay.
some friends. So they told me it's actually a good place. they didn't tell me enough about the snow.
They bring you in the summer, you say,
Yeah.
oh, this is lovely.
Yes, I mean, when I was working at Disney the first time, as I mentioned before I went to UK, I met a couple from Michigan. They love they go to when it's winter, they go to Orlando. So they became my friends when I was working for Disney, and they invited me here. So my first visit to Michigan was Livonia, to see Michigan, and it was totally different. It was in the fall because they wanted me to see the changes of the colors.
Sure.
And then I thought the roads were terrible compared to Orlando. I was like, what's going on? They said, oh, we put salt when it snows. I'm
And
like,
it
okay.
damages the road.
You know what? Yes. And so I understood because Orlando roads are perfect.
Yeah.
And then after like the second part, when I came, I just talked to friends, like I said, and they invited me here to just see it. And then I felt like I would just stay here. So I moved here in 2005.
So, as I mentioned in my intro, you have really embraced Grand Rapids. You have really made this your home. And you have founded a couple of organizations. Tell us about West Michigan Kenyans.
Yes, West Michigan Kenyans, I started it in 2013. So I began the organization after I had a very difficult time. I lost my mom in 2012. So that was the lowest point of my life. Basically, my mom was everything to me. She was a single mom. She was just the strongest person I know, beautiful inside and out. And when I lost her, I felt really, really devastated, and I didn't know where to turn to. I didn't think anybody understood the pain I was feeling. I started to think of something I could do that would make me feel better about myself, but also help somebody else who goes through something like that. Because
And you also found an African church to join.
Yes, I found the church. I actually, after my mom passed, I was in a very big church here locally. And through my struggles with my mom, financial needs that I had, because I had to pay all our medical expenses, and they were a lot because there's no insurance. So I used to pay everything out of
And
pocket.
she was back in Kenya.
She was back in Kenya. The oncology and everything was charging so much.
Oh my.
And I think within few months, I had no money anywhere. I started taking out my 401k. Yes, and I really wanted to save my mom so bad. And so it didn't work out. Obviously, she kept getting worse. I mean, sometimes she was getting better. But chemo, radiation, medicine, it was very standard, probably sometimes low standard of what we get here, but it was still costing a lot.
Sure.
So I was going to Resurrection Life, and when I started having so many financial issues, they really didn't come across like they wanted to support me.
Well, and it's really hard, I think, when you have a lifetime of certain cultural expectations,
Yes.
and you're in a different country, people don't know how to respond
Yes.
in a way that's really meaningful to you.
Very true, because I remember talking to some of the deacons who were supposed to talk to me, understand they didn't understand, like, what are you, if you don't have money, you don't have money. And they didn't understand why somebody didn't have insurance. And I said, in my country, you only have insurance through a company. You don't have it on your own.
Yeah.
So it was still hard, and I felt a lot of rejection, and nobody knew what I needed.
But you found an African church.
Yes, and I continued to go to that big church, but then eventually my mother passed, and that time I was really rock bottom because I was owing a lot of money. Not owing myself, my mom owed a lot of money at the hospital. It was about 21,000 US dollars. And unfortunately in Kenya, the system is crazy, because when you pass away and you haven't paid, or if you're in the hospital, you haven't paid your dues, they keep you there. So they held my mom's
Oh
body.
my.
Yes. And they said I can't bury her until we pay. And there was nobody else who worked, just me.
Wow.
So she was stuck in the morgue for a little while, 2 weeks probably. I started fundraising here. And actually that's when the African church found out and started wanting to help me.
Oh, okay.
They invited me, said we can host a fundraiser here at our church. And it was amazing because it was a very, very tiny church at that time. I think there was like 4 families, if I can remember. But they were very loving, caring. They wanted to support me. I wasn't a member, but they were still very open.
Sure.
And so they started to just do fundraisers, I think, and then friends chipped in, and I was able to get to half, probably about 10. And so I was halfway through. And then people in Kenya also raised money, and that money was also put towards that. So I think I owed about 4,000 on October 15, and then they said my mother can be released to be buried.
Wow.
This church was very kind. My pastor, Pastor Mandy, was very nice, very understanding, and all my friends were all by my side. So yes, after that.
Is this multinationalities or primarily a Kenyan church?
Multinationalities, yes.
Okay.
Maybe the majority, because maybe the pastor is from Kenya, the majority of the congregation is Kenyan,
Okay.
but other people from everywhere go. Americans too go as well. And since then, 2012, the church has really grown.
Okay.
At that time, it was a tiny, tiny church.
Well, and there is a substantial Kenyan population here.
Yes, very, very true. Yeah. And then after that, that's when I started really the West Michigan Kenyan community. And the pastor was also joining, interested in that part of the community. And it really was very well received, very, very well received. I was very genuinely trying to bring people together. In case somebody went through a difficult time financially or emotionally, then I wanted them to have a community.
And I think one thing that a lot of Americans don't understand is their assumption is, oh, if you're going to move here, why don't you find an African-American community, an African-American church? But culturally, historically, you have not a lot of shared experience. Other
Very
than
true.
walking down the street, some white folks might say, oh, you both look the same, but you have profoundly different experiences. You have a lot that you don't share. And so associating with people from your continent is really meaningful and really grounding.
It was very meaningful. I think for me, I wanted somebody who knew what it means if you have a sick parent. Our parents, we never put them in nursing homes. We watch them until they die.
Sure.
So it was hard. Somebody saying, she could go to a hospice or a nursing home. They don't go. My grandmother lived with us, with my mom forever.
And it's just a cultural expectation.
Yeah.
Our time is running short, and I really want to touch base on this huge new project of yours. You had this vision. You said Grand Rapids really needs an African festival. Talk about what you've got cooking.
Well, last year I started my own small business, Flora's Elegance Events Decor.
And I've attended an event where you were the decorations company, and was quite lovely.
Yes, I love it, and it's named after my mom, Flora. So it has a lot. The branding name is based on her personality, and it's the elegance, the beauty from inside out. So my business.
And you're doing this on the side because you actually have a day job too.
Yes, I have a full-time job at the Cultural Intelligence Center, downtown Grand Rapids.
And those people are doing really important work. But I want to go back to the African Festival before we run out of time.
Yes. So
when is it going to be?
August 10. I would like to invite everybody to attend. It will be wonderful. It will be fashion, food, entertainment, different songs and music from Africa. There will be also comedians. I think I have 2 so far, one from Ethiopia, one from Nigeria. We'll have local businesses having their tables there. So mostly we'll have just all kinds of entertainment put together.
At Rosa Parks Circle?
At Rosa Parks Circle.
And in the summer, it's a lovely place to be.
Yes.
You can wear your T-shirts.
Yes. We'll have volunteer shirts. We are still open to sponsors.
And happily, just in the last while, you've gotten several sponsors on board.
Yes, I do.
Can you tell us who is jumping in?
I'm very excited to say that Mobo GR, one of the mobility and parking unit of the city, is supporting us.
Fantastic.
And they've been amazing and very supportive. And also we do have Downtown Grand Rapids Inc. They are also sponsoring us. I just had another wonderful communication from Experience GR. So they are supporting us as well. and then Old National Bank
Fantastic.
downtown.
Yeah.
And I have at least a few more. Grand Valley is looking at our sponsorship. They are sounding very interested. As I also submitted an application to Spectrum, and another company that's also very interested in supporting it is Avanti Law Firm.
Oh, fantastic. Those are
Yeah.
good folks
Yes.
doing good work there.
Very,
I
very
know those
much,
folks as
yes.
well.
Yeah.
But anytime you've got good weather, you've got good food, you've got good music, lots of people, it sounds like it's going to be a wonderful event. And I personally look forward on attending. Having lived in West Africa part of my life, I need to reconnect with those long past
Please,
roots.
yes. This is a vision I've had for a very long time, and I'm excited to bring it alive in Grand Rapids, Michigan. I have always visualized downtown with an African festival. It's growing. Our town is becoming more diverse,
Yes.
and I'm so excited that an African festival will come down here too. It's, as I said, based on like trying to bring people together through all my activities, and through now that I have a small business. I think this is a platform to bring people together and also showcase talents, showcase small businesses, and just enjoy some wonderful culture.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
We're going to have to leave it there, but I really want to thank you for coming by in this inhospitable weather
Yes.
and chatting with us today, and I wish you the best of luck. We will definitely keep in touch.
Thank you so much, Alan, for
You bet.
having me.
My pleasure.
Yes.
Thanks for joining us. If you're watching us on TV, stay tuned for our following segments on language and culture. If you're watching Feel Like You Belong on the internet, we hope you will share your feedback with us via our website and YouTube channel. Be sure to catch our many other stories about the inspiring immigrants who helped to make these United States a better place.